Hello, I'm Richard Hooper and this is SatTV Week. CommunicAsia, Enterprise IT and Broadcast 2017 wrapped up last week after a 3-day exhibition and conference, addressing technologies and strategies for smart cities and digital ecosystems, driving the digital strategies and transformation roadmaps of governments and enterprises in Asia. The event drew over 40,000 trade attendees, with 45% hailing from overseas, and more than 1,800 exhibitors showcased innovations featuring the latest in IoT, big data analytics, cloud, artificial intelligence, robotics, cybersecurity, satellite communications, virtual reality, IP broadcasting, OTT and 5G, among others, in dedicated technology clusters. With fast-growing digital ecosystems driving the economy and evolution of society, the event saw more than 900 product launches this year. The satellite sector was well represented at the event, with all the major operators, service providers and equipment suppliers in attendance. But what were the key messages coming out of the event? Well, IoT is creating a real buzz, and the satellite industry is ideally positioned to take a giant slice of the market. According to Tim Last of Iridium, IoT is transforming the way businesses and governments operate and the way people live their lives.
The Internet of Things, or IoT, is one of the fastest growing segments of the communication industry. IoT is transforming the way that many businesses, enterprises, governments and even people live their lives, and it's creating, tremendous growth and efficiencies in all sorts of ways. Communications is really important because the Internet of Things is all about connecting things to people and people to things, and satellite plays an important role in that.
But what about the issue of IoT security? Are we not rushing towards another layer of technology that can be hacked?
Well, security is very important for the Internet of Things. I mean, more than ever before, applications and people are connected to the Internet, and the Internet is the backbone of most IoT applications. So, it's open, obviously, to lots of security threats and problems and issues. Iridium has invested quite a lot in ensuring that its network is secure. Satellite is generally a more proprietary technology, so there's certain inherent benefits of using a satellite network anyway. But we have many companies that are working with Iridium to develop secure applications over our network, and we're working with them very closely to ensure that Iridium's network is meeting the highest standards of security.
There is still an air of uncertainty surrounding the global satellite and communications industries, and crucial to surviving these dips in market conditions is evolving new products and services, as well as forming key partnerships and industry collaborations. Huawei announced 20 industry collaborations during the event that will further develop the region's cloud and connected enterprise ecosystem. According to Mardi from North Telecom, the market conditions are changing, but the solution is more collaborations and working along the supply chain.
Well, yes, the market is shrinking, and everybody is talking about, price reductions, excess capacity, oversupply capacity, and the consequence is, yes, market is shrinking. But what we can do in future, from my standpoint, the future is more collaborations, consolidations, and working along the supply chain, from perhaps even satellite manufacturers all the way to satellite operators, service providers, system integrators. We have to understand, and we need to understand, what is the value proposition of every players in the supply chain.
The launch sector had only one representative at the event, and that was Arianespace, the dominant company in this sector. With 77 successful consecutive launches, Arianespace seems to be immune to competition from other entrants such as SpaceX. But is such a dominant force good for the launch sector? According to Jacques Breton of Arianespace, it is all about reliability, and that is why Arianespace is so dominant.
Well, of course I think so. We have been providing the industry with a launch solution for 30 years, a reliable launch solution which means that we have half of the market. Have been in this position for a long time. Once again, we are providing stability on this market. That is to say that we have seen in the past a lot of competitors coming and going. We'll perhaps talk later on about competition. But we have always been on this market providing to the industry the service that they require. That is to say, a reliable launch service on time and with a quality of service unequaled.
The antenna market continues to innovate year in and year out. However, the introduction of flat panel electronically steerable antennas has the potential to take the industry by storm. The giant global operator Intelsat is keen to explore this market and has invested in two of the industry's flat panel innovators, CommunicAsia and Phaser. According to Terry Bleakley of Intelsat, it is all about performance, economics and accessibility.
So that's, we talk, as I said at the start, about performance, economics and accessibility. Accessibility is making the installation and ease of installation a lot simpler by reducing the size and reducing the expertise needing to place it out in remote areas or not so remote areas. So CommunicAsia is a US company that's using flat panel passive array technology, nanotechnology, really sort of exciting stuff. Owned 51% by Bill Gates. We invested more money in that entity recently, and we're the second largest shareholder and hold a board seat. And we're developing a flat panel antenna around two markets with them. It's KU band, a 70 centimetre antenna to be used in maritime and moving vehicles. And we've got we can show you a model of that, which is on our stand today. And we're looking at a 20 centimetre antenna, which is more for the connected market. So what these antennas do, that they use electronic beamforming. So as soon as you put them in place, they automatically look for the satellite. So no pointing required. With mass manufacture, the price point comes down very low and creates a simple way of getting a node on a network. So that's sort of the CommunicAsia play. The Phaser play, which we've also invested in, is more orientated towards the business jet or narrow-bodied aircraft market. And we're looking at really making broadband to the business jet a lot more capable than it is today, because the people who fly around in those jets are wealthy people. They need true broadband access, and with the proper antenna design on those narrow-bodied aircraft, they'll be able to get it with constellations like Epic and OneWeb.
However, we shouldn't forget the traditional antenna manufacturers are not only keeping a close eye on the flat panel